Are you swiping left on romance altogether, Capricorn? I get it. Let's dive in. Hey Capricorn, welcome back to Distilled Tarot. My name's Shannon. I'll be guiding you through today's reading. This is a timeless reading for Capricorn Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, or anywhere that Capricorn falls in your chart. Let's see what's going on with Capricorn. Setting an intention for this reading to help you come into alignment with your highest good in this moment. The heart of your reading, we have the Ten of Cups in reverse. You are shifting your perspective on what you think is going to really make you happy in life. You may have gotten to the top of the hill and looked around and realized the fight that you've been fighting, the territory that you've been gaining, isn't what you thought it would be. You don't feel the sense of accomplishment that you thought you would. You don't feel joyful. The challenge is Temperance in reverse. Could be that you're impatient. You're expecting something to happen faster than it's meant to. Temperance is the energy of things coming together in an unexpected way to create a new thing that neither one element could have accomplished on its own, but it takes time and patience. It plays out in divine timing in unexpected ways. And this reversal tells me either it could be that you put in the time, you trusted, you contributed all of the elements that you had to contribute, but it didn't alchemize. It didn't turn into this magical new third thing that you thought would materialize. That is a possibility. But I get for the majority of you that it's more about the lack of willingness to wait. You want more immediate results. What is Capricorn's focus? You guys. Come on. Really? Two of Cups, Seven of Swords, Six of Swords, World in reverse, Page of Wands in reverse, and the Three of Swords. You are just overwhelmed, like you're swimming in a sea of concepts and ideas and thoughts. You're lost in the sauce a little bit, Capricorn. I'm not gonna mince words here. You could just be going through a lot. Like life is just throwing you everything all at once, so you feel like it's not nothing is resolving. Everything is always kind of handing you new challenges. But we're getting deception in love, getting out of a bad situation, but not feeling like it can ever really be over. And a complete disinterest and distaste in heartbreak. In whenever you open your mind to something new, you consider a new way of thinking, it kind of bites you in the butt and you feel wronged by the universe. Maybe you feel like, you never want to try love again because that's what it is. You feel like love is a losing game. Like the concept of romance that has been sold to us in society is a lie. It's a sham. It's never going to come together in the way that it's been purported to do. That realization is the challenge. You think that there's some, by necessity, if you enter into a love partnership, you think that things just come together. I want to show you the imagery real quick. You see the two cups that, I believe, yeah, okay. In the Rider-Waite art, they're holding two cups, but I couldn't see that for sure, but she is. She's got two cups. Your focus, the main card, is the Two of Cups. In this card, it's meant to like be pouring from these two cups, that they come together magically to alchemize and create this thing that is greater than the sum of its parts. And that's very much like the metaphor for romantic love, right? Except when it comes to deception and being stuck in emotionally turbulent territory. Yeah, I don't want to rehash all those cards because we'll be here an hour, but I want to move on to the recent past. Let's see how this reading shapes up. Just to kind of, I guess, finish my thought there. I do feel like this is about a realization of being like the wool has been pulled over your eyes in terms of expectations for what romantic love can be and should be. You've been wronged, and it's not a sour grapes moment. It's the wool is off my eyes now. I can see. It's not what I want. The Ten of Cups doesn't exist. I don't want it. It's a lie. It's false. Ace of Swords in reverse there at the bottom of the deck. In the recent past, we have the High Priestess showing up, which is like an intuitive awareness, some sort of spiritual understanding. You're reaching for knowledge and reaching it, like, and grasping it, but it doesn't come from a book. It doesn't come from a class. It comes from like meditation and downloading information. It's just this like higher truth that you've touched, you've grasped, pertaining to what we've just been talking about. From your spirit team's perspective, the reason this is all happening is so that you go into seclusion in some sense, so that you kind of rise above, you get closer to your own spiritual truth in so doing. The metaphor is the hermit climbing the mountain, and metaphorically like being closer to God or closer to the heavens. So energetically, you're isolating yourself more so from the world, maybe completely, not necessarily so, but hermit energy is very much like, you know what, I'm happy in my own energy. And anyone who's gonna share space with me, gonna co-create this physical 3D reality with me, better bring their A game, better be a vibrational match for what I'm contributing here. The lantern that the hermit carries represents their own spiritual awareness, their own truth, like an awareness of their purpose, awareness of their life path, just like a guiding principle. That's very personal, very individual for you. And so the reason you're going through this right now, this stage of your life, is so that you crystallize that, so that that comes to like a fine point and it becomes the light that's going to lead you forward. Potentially so that you can kind of forge a path that's going to end up leading the way for others, or that others can follow. I don't think necessarily that you're going to lead them per se, but just through example in how you're living your life, maybe what you're sharing on social media. You don't have to do that, but that could be part of your story eventually, in kind of giving back to the community the lessons that you've learned, and shining a light for the path that you've found, that you've created for yourself, and maybe others will end up following. In the near future, we have the Two of Swords and the Eight of Swords in reverse. This is kind of interesting because there's some dichotomy here. You have two blindfolded characters, which means that they're both kind of really going within and relying on their inner thoughts to guide them. On the one hand, we have the Eight of Swords, which is more so focused on insecurities, being stuck in one way of thinking and believing that's the only way, not seeing any alternatives. But that's reversed. So that energy is like correcting itself. Sorry if that... I irritate myself with my mouth noises right now. I have braces and I have these things on the inside that kind of make it more difficult for me to enunciate. So I apologize if that's irritating. It's irritating to me too. But the Eight of Swords in reverse is the energy of realizing that there's another way of doing things that you hadn't yet considered, opening your mind to new possibilities. But the main energy is this Two of Swords, which is still blindfolded, so it's still very much an internal thing. You're not looking at the outside world of your material circumstances in order to make any sort of decisions. You're going within. So it's like discerning an inner truth. And I think that's where the High Priestess comes into play in the recent past, because how do you break free from this stagnant way of thinking without external influence? Well, you reached out somehow to the ether and had a eureka moment, or had a download of information, and that broke you free from this pattern of thinking that had kept you trapped in a way. But now you have an important decision to make in the near future. This Two of Swords is, I think one thing, I think this other thing. These are at odds. So what am I going to choose? What am I going to do? Perhaps like I still find myself wanting love, but that's at odds with like ending the disillusion of the concept of modern romance, that doesn't exist in the shape or form that I was led to believe. So what do I want? You're at that stage of like formulating a new concept for companionship. Maybe deciding if that's what you want. Maybe you don't want companionship. The Two of Cups showing up at all here in your focus tells me that you do. Unless you're just really scrutinizing the concept. Show me surprise energy. What is going to affect the situation that Capricorn does not see coming? We have strength energy. This experience that you're going through right now is definitely going to fortify your inner armor is the way I'm sensing it. Trying to think if there's like a word already for that, and it's not quite fitting the concepts that I know. I mean, my vocabulary isn't as robust as it could be, but it's definitely like this conviction. Yeah, your convictions. what you will say no to, what is, you're excluding things that are not your truth. But then how is this a surprise? Let me clarify. Spirit, tell me how this strength energy is going to, are they going to have to go through another test? How is this going to surprise? Queen of Pentacles in reverse. Ace of Cups at the bottom of the deck. Okay. Clarifiers, we have the Queen of Pentacles in reverse and the Ace of Cups. So this tells me it's going to be another universal test where perhaps someone enters your life. That's what it is. It's to help you gain clarity in this choice. This, is it going to be this or is it going to be that? You're going to think, well, I really want it, but what will I do in the situation? The universe is going to present you with the situation so that you can find out what you would do in that situation. And it's your own inner strength, your own strong convictions that are going to like blossom out of you. I use those words because it's not necessarily something that you're going to have to intentionally or like focus on doing. You're not going to have to plan out and think about what you're going to say. It's going to be reflexive almost. So it's going to show you a truth that's already in you that you just haven't seen in yourself because you haven't been put in that situation yet. And okay, so the reason why I'm getting that from the Queen of Pentacles in reverse, because that tells me that someone's going to expect you to be the Earth Mother, and you're going to not play that role. It's like, okay, team, we're having the office holiday party. You ladies are gonna take care of like all the decorations and food arrangements, right? And the ladies being like, oh no, we're actually not gonna attend this year. We're not gonna be in town. So sorry. And then it's left to like all the men in the group to decide whether or not they're going to decorate and arrange for the food, or they're just going to cancel the party altogether because there's no Queen of Pentacles to run the show for them, to kind of mother the situation or nurture it into creation. Because this is more likely a romantic love story here. I think you might date someone new and be presented with the same vibe of like, well, you want a family, right? And you want to bear my children eventually, right? And you want to, like, you'll quit your job and just be a stay-at-home mother, right? And it's like, well, will I? No, that doesn't resonate with my internal truth. That's not the light that leads me forward. I've taken the time, I've stepped away from the world, I've really zeroed in on what it is that I want to rise above and stay connected to my personal truth. And that just does not vibe with me. That's a no for me. It's a no from me, dog. Okay, moving forward. Let's see. What are Capricorn's hopes and fears? Emperor in reverse. You're pretty disillusioned about the concept of like the divine masculine. You're wondering whether or not it even exists, or if it's just a kind of something that a mask that gets worn by men in order to prey on women. When, like, is this masculinity's true form? Is it using and abusing? Is it selfish desires? Is it putting oneself first always? That's what I'm getting from this energy. That you're like, on the one hand, you're hopeful that you see the situation clearly, that this truth is going to be something that can reliably, you can base your life on reliably. On the other hand, you're fearful that that's all there is, that if that's true, then what? The end result, we have kind of no resolution. We have things remaining imbalanced, justice in reverse. It's just not fair. Coming to terms with something that is unjust. But the story's not over. 9 of Wands here at the bottom of the deck tells me that there's still more fight left in you. There's still more journey to this story in your life. Just the closing of this chapter is going to end with you kind of resolving that there's an imbalance, and that's the way it is. The truth is that there's an imbalance, and that's how I'm going to predicate my decisions moving forward based on that truth. That's kind of how I'm reading the vibe. Now definitely apply that, extrapolate as you see it fitting your situation. What advice do we have for Capricorn? 9 of Swords. Take your concerns seriously. Don't let anyone convince you that it's all in your head, that you're worrying over nothing. This tells me that your fears or your concerns are valid, and that you should, I don't advocate living in fear, but there are people out there who use and abuse. There are people who are dangerous, and being aware of those energies and recognizing them as real is important. So I think that's the advice here, is if you're having, this could be nightmares as well. So if you're having nightmares, I think part of the resolution for that is to acknowledge them as your inner being wanting you to stay savvy, wanting you to stay aware of dangers that exist and persist in the world. Not so that you have to have it running through your head, or so that you have to have those nightmares every night. Not by any means. But I think the way to move past it is by acknowledging it and saying thank you for making me aware of this. I take it seriously, and I will be appropriately guarded, appropriately aware, and savvy moving forward. I'm going to leave it there, Capricorn. I hope this helped. Have a great week, and I will see you back next time. Bye.